So you have a set of traction boards or max tracks and you want to find a way to mount them to your vehicle, then watch this video. So first things first, you have to start out with your traction board and max tracks. We have an off-brand on Amazon for like 80 bucks. We have shallow unistrut that we use for our mounting. We had to double check to make sure that the holes would line up with the holes in the strut. You can buy strut clamps at Home Depot or at Lowe's. They're commonly found in the plumbing or the electrical section. They're kind of used for both. We have a round bar for our roof rack. That's why we went with the strut clamps. They make them in they make it a bunch of different options for mounting strut, to square pipe, to flat mount brackets, or anything with holes. You can just use nuts, bolts, and washers. So first things first, we figured out how long we wanted them, and we measured and cut them to the right length. Used a speed square just to make sure I had good, clean, straight cuts, because I didn't want it to be ugly looking. I wanted it to look like it was cut nice and kind of professional looking. And as you can see, we use a grinder to cut it. You can use a chop saw, a miter saw if that's what you have. It was important to spray paint it. I painted them black just to match the rest of the roof rack. Strut is made out of galvanized steel, so it shouldn't rust, but on the ends where you cut it, it is not galvanized. That's actual steel there, so the ends will rust if you don't have them painted. I bolted one up just to test the fit, measured the distance between the holes, and mounted up the second piece of strut. And I ended up actually having to kind of play with it just a little bit to get them to line up perfectly exact right. But it all worked out in the end, so we got them on there loosely, slid it into place, or I was able to slide them back and forth, and then I was able to snug them up where I wanted them to be mounted permanently. And after that, you can see the bolts went right through. One of the things you do need to make sure of is that the bolts will go through the strut and through the traction boards without hitting something else. But this is it.